In Buffalo, every day you getting maybe 80, 85 degrees, no humidity. But you take your ass to go down there and play in South Florida in August, September, October, you're gonna die.
Behind the mask.
I remember even when I was in college, I preferred to play on the road compared to playing at home. Not because our atmosphere was lacking by no stretch of the imagination, but it's just something about being able to go inside of the opponent's stadium. When you look at all the stadiums across the South, in particular, I'm talking about SEC stadiums. Like, I like to go into Legion Field and shut y'all ass up. And you do that with a big play and you do it early. Now you don't have to worry about the momentum changes. The fans just get impatient. They'll start booing. Same thing with LSU. I remember playing in a game at LSU, probably one of my best college games I ever played. I ended up getting, put it this way, that night, it set off the Richter scale as if a small earthquake had happened because the stadium was so loud. And people know exactly what I mean when you play against LSU at home. So that's the reason why I like that. I balled that game too, the more I think about it. I had a pick and I had a blocked field goal at the end of the game to ice it. Had to put that in there too. But
we'll fact check you.
Yeah, please do.
This is some off-camera shit, but I'm really wondering, like, do that shit really matter? Like, oh man, we gotta go play him over. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a player, you give a fuck about that. You just like, we gotta go fight regardless.
Some players do. And I get it. Like, some games you want to be home. I give you an example, like what games I remember beginning of the season when you're in a place like Buffalo. And you immediately, I don't care about no Patriots. I don't care who won what last year. I need to know when we're going to Miami. Why? Because the worst thing that you don't want to happen is you don't want to go to Miami early in the season. In Buffalo, every day you getting maybe 80, 85 degrees, no humidity. But you take your ass to go down there and play in South Florida in August, September, October, you're gonna die. You can't breathe. It's gonna feel like you're sucking eggs between plays. You're cramping up, and you can't even talk and relay the calls. And God forbid you get on a 10, 12 play drive to where they're driving. And I remember having those, and I remember being in the huddle like, I don't even need water. I just need chapstick. Because my lips was so dry. And I was like, man, I'm afraid if I even like yell loud, my shit gonna be splitting. But like, that's the reason why you don't want to go down south. So we used to look at the schedule. When we got Miami, dog, we was like November, December. We was like, cool. Because now, even when you playing in Buffalo, November, December is cold. I feel like I'm getting somewhat of a vacation late in the year, going to Miami. So from the weather-wise perspective. But yeah, it matters though.
Loud, like a loud stadium, like, oh, we can't even communicate. Like, oh, it's so loud here.
I've only played in a few stadiums that was like that in the NFL. Indianapolis, when Peyton Manning had them rocking. Kansas City is always like that. Baltimore, Love going to Baltimore. I mean, that's the house that Ray Lewis built. Like he come out doing the dancing, and everybody be watching. That's all right. I'm gonna do my dance too, though. You know. But man, like that, like it's the little stuff which takes it to another level in the NFL. It's the little stuff. Even another stadium that was like that, haven't been like that in years, Tennessee. When they had McNair, Eddie George, man, it was hard to get in there and get a win. That's why they called it the Music City Miracle. Like, man, listen, them fans, they be sauced up. And you know what's that, Broadway Street right across, that's Nashville, Nash Vegas. They already sauced up early. But I loved it. Loved it because it gave me an opportunity to be like, all right, you're going to remember me today. And that's the approach that I took. And that was the challenge. Listen, the snow is the best place. I know this may sound crazy. I would rather much play in the snow than in the rain. Why? I know they the same thing, somewhat. In the rain, it's just, in the snow, it's cold. It's going to be a certain temperature. It doesn't snow when it's very cold.
True. That's true.
And I hate playing in hot weather and I get tired and shit. So I like that temperature somewhere like 25, 30, 35 degrees. I'm good. I can run all day and you don't even really be sore the next week because you're out in so much cold temperature. I never realized that until I left and played on the West Coast and playing in San Fran, San Diego. And it's like Wednesday and my body internally is still flaming. I still could feel the inflammation that I had from the game. But the best is playing in the snow. I like it just because of the temperature range. But the thing I hate about playing in the rain is I ain't like another grown man just touching me like while I'm wet, man. Like I just to me that was just I just didn't like it. So it's just messy. Like I don't like having mud on me. I don't like none of that. And so I made it a point when we played in games that had a lot of rain. Like I'm trying to drop you definitely before you get to me. I don't even want to be on the ground. Like that's how much I hated the rain. Hated it.
We gotta see your rain stats.
That's funny.
I hated that shit.
That affect you more than that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, because they ain't throwing the ball that heavy in the rain, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they running that thing.
Yeah, like I hated rain. That shit, I just felt nasty. The coldest game I ever played in Cincinnati against the Jacksonville Jaguars, playing up against, I think it was Mark Brunell, but Fred Taylor was the running back. A cold front came over the Northeast. The temperature was literally 2 degrees, but the wind chill was -28. Oh my God. And I said, I said, damn. So I'm like, immediately I'm in the locker room before the game and everybody getting psyched out. You got some guys like, man, we don't care about no cold, the cold, man. Taking the shirt off. I'm finna go out in pregame. I was like, you can go out in pregame. I ain't going out in pregame. He went out about 5 minutes later. Never forget this. Justin Smith, Cowboy. He come back in and we was just like, man, this dude here he don't care about nothing. Nothing phases him. He came back in and said he was red all over, chapped in everything. Well, boys, it's colder than shit out there. I'm putting some sleeves on. I'm sorry. I said, oh, Lord, we all goddamn. We say it's all downhill for us.
Y'all won that game?
But we won it.
Okay.
You might want to fact check me on that.
Yeah,
but
you got to hit on Fred, huh?
No, this is the point of me telling the story. I remember like it was so cold. By the time you get water, and then, you like, by the time you come back to neutral, the water was froze on your face mask. That's how cold it was. And it got to a point to where they didn't even feed us. They didn't give us water. They had hot soup in Gatorade coolers. Not Gatorade, but Gatorade. That's what my grandmama used to call it, Gatorade. Had it in Gatorade coolers. And so we would be out there like blood pressure high as shit at the end of the game. Cause we trying to do whatever it takes to stay warm. But man, it was the coldest game. And I remember looking at Fred, and Fred was a back. He was unique. Fred was a back who was like 225, 30 pounds, who could run a 4.3, run away from you, but he'll also run your ass over too. And like I remember, like I hit Fred one time. I said, "Look, Fred," I said, "Man, it's cold out here, bro. I ain't got time to be trying to chase you all the way around now." I don't know if he really got what I really was trying to say. I just knew, like, hey, man, we need to get this clock to 0, dog. It's cold out here, bro. And I went out there, my dumb ass went out there with no sleeves on. I say, never again. That was the coldest game that I ever played in. And I did it without sleeves. I can brag about that. In a negative 28 wind chill. The temperature was 2 degrees. But if the newscaster was to ever say that's coming through and I'm playing ball again, I say, I'm putting sleeves on. You can call me whatever you want to. But what you ain't gonna call me is stupid and dumb for going out there and I got pneumonia for like 10 days after that because you're trying to go out there and intimidate somebody when clearly you were intimidated by God's plan. Negative.
Yeah, you seen them cats in Lambeau Field, cold as hell out there.
That was rough, bro.
I like the elements effect, like fumbles, like rain. You can get that punch in. What you can do? You get the peanut in there.
Oh yeah, when it's so cold, you don't even have to have the peanut punch or what I like to call the Charles Woodson punch. Like you don't. Them cats know it's cold and they ain't trying to hold on to that ball anyway. You can come up there and be like, just barely hit the arm. They fumbling. Like you can't feel anything. It's so cold, you can't feel the ball. And that's the cool thing about it. It's like, if you even go after the ball a little bit, the percentages go up a lot higher when it comes to having a turnover, making fumbles, causing fumbles and stuff like that. Now, conversely, I'm going to tell you where it comes back to bite you on the other side. As a defensive player, you let the quarterback rip one through a seam and you trying to put your hands up and catch it. You liable, high percentage, to have your finger dislocated. Like I can't even straighten these out. You see how they, all of them.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm
Why
just.
you throw yourself under the bus like that?
I tried. You show me a cat who ain't had no dislocated fingers, and I'll show you he knows how to turn the heat warmer on the bench. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Man. Who broke one? Who broke one of the fingers or dislocated one of the fingers?
I had a teammate dislocated his finger and saw it, and I cannot remember. He passed out. We were like, he what? Who was that?
He passed out.
I can't remember, dog. God, I would love to give you a name. When you fumble that ball and under the pile, that ain't where you want to be. You don't want to be there. And nobody, listen, nobody is immune. Especially when the game it's a close game and you know you can ice the game with the fumble. And you know you need to keep the fumble if you fumble in order to kick the field goal or get in field goal position. It's a lot of bad things happen inside of that pile. A lot of bad things. I'll start with mild and get down to the worst things. Pinching, number one. And to me, that is I can't stand, like my grandmother used to pinch me in church, or like older lady used to pinch me in church. And it was one of them things it was like, how dare you pinch me? Like that. It hurt so bad. And guess what? When you get pinched, you gonna turn that ball loose now. Now, if that doesn't do it, because I don't even know if it's what happens at the bottom of the pile or just the conversation. Because immediately, whether or not if you pinch somebody or you stick your finger in their eye or like, listen, I've heard guys say they over there grabbing balls and stuff. And I ain't talking about the ball they trying to secure. They like the jewels. They want you to let loose the football so they don't grab the other balls. And I've heard people under the pile like, oh, grab my ball. And then they were like, the ball loose, get it. And that's all the conversation that you hear up under the pile. I got it. Who got it? It could be the other team. They got it. Get him. So now you trying to go pinch. You trying to scratch. You trying to poke people. I had people hit me in my eye for a fumble. Only thing you could do is that's the reason why, like kids, that's the reason why they tell you when you get a fumble, you grab it here and you bend down like this and just tell your teammates they better get people off of you. Like that's the rule. Guys, get them off of me early when I got the ball because it ain't good. It ain't good. You won't be could have some blurred vision. You could have some whelps on your arm or your legs. Or the jewels could be damaged.
When you come up with that ball, though.
Greatest feeling in the world. Your teammates knew you really took one for the team. They knew you withstood it all. And you get extra pats on the back. Even a couple of dinners the next week. Be worth it. Depends on how you come out, but as long as you back functional, Monday, it's a good week coming up.
I don't know if you saw this. Bills offensive tackle Dion Dawkins says dudes in the league are corny, and he wants to set up sparring matches for the guys that talk trash about fighting after the game.
I get it. Dion Dawkins is right. He's right. Now, what he's really trying to say is, listen, you stupid fool. Why you want to try to fight me after the game when you know everybody gonna stop it? So if you really want to fight, let's set up an organized deal to where at least one of us don't get paid for being humiliated, and the other one is gonna have to get a massage for all the pats on the back that you get from whooping his ass. It's like, man, we out here. Like I get it. I just read between the lines. Like Doc was saying, man, we out here millionaires. Why I want to show up and fight you after the game, after the payday, after we off the clock? For what? If you really want to get me, you would get me. So, Dion, I'm digging that. I am. Go ahead and make some bread off of it. Then it turns into reality TV. I'll buy that show.
You produce it.
I'll produce it.
You should give
Yeah, I produce that. Dog, holla at your boy, man. I'm sure we can find a way to produce this. Quality. You can't be losing either, dog. Got my money on you, partner.
Y'all be really mad at in the heat of the battle, you be ready to scrap though, huh?
Oh, no question. But some cats know somebody gonna stop it. They gonna stop it. Like if you really wanted to swing on him, you know how, listen, if you really wanted to swing on him, you would.
Y'all got gear on though.
And that's the other part. You got gear on. So why am I gonna take my hand, another thing that Dion was talking about, why would I take my hand and hit you when you got a helmet on? Like it just don't make any sense. What now? So now I sustain a broken hand. You get no street cred for that. Actually, you get degraded in the streets because they think, you dummy. Now there's conduct detrimental, meaning they can fine you because you threw a punch. Nobody else enabled you to do this. You enabled yourself to do this. You did it to yourself. So it really was a conflict of interest. You're keeping yourself from playing, so we're not going to pay you until you heal up. That's why I agree with Dion. At least produce something on the side to where, all right, if you really feel that strongly about me, let's set it up and get a payday. It's a legacy play for talking anyway. Because if you lose, you'll never be able to shut that down. It's gonna follow you forever. Forever.
Man, you gotta show, man. A couple matches, man. Go to Vegas, take it to Vegas, man.
I think I could produce that show. Red, I think we could produce this show.
Yes, sir.
I think we can produce it. Yeah, Dion, we can produce this show.
Past beats, like he's saying.
And this even can go into past beefs too. You know, I think about Aqib Talib, Michael Crabtree. They had a genuine hate for each other. We can start off with that one. No, I shouldn't be promoting violence. I shouldn't be doing that. I'm not doing that. Let's move on to the next topic. You can tell when a coach has lost a team. And it usually reflects in the play, not of just one person. It's when you see or hear, it just seems like we keep making mistakes taking turns at making mistakes. To me, that's the number one sign, because now everybody is not locked in. And you assume, he'll make it. I'm gonna just lollygag and jog over here versus busting my ass, getting over here to make the play. It's the attention to detail is lacking from an assignment wise of not making the proper checks depending on when you get the motion that comes across. It's the knowing, okay, team meeting starts at 8:00 and you got guys who walking in when you, as the head coach, is giving your talk addressing the team at 8:00, 5 seconds. You know, that's when you can tell you lost the team. And, you know, I remember we had this one time, and this one player, I remember we didn't, it's like Cardinal seeing, you have to stay in the hotel the night before the game. Coach didn't make us stay in the hotel. So I felt like, man, how this dude, like how you won't let us not stay in the hotel the night before the game and you trust us to stay at home? And mind you, I was on my rookie deal. I get back in, wake up, go to the, go on the way to the stadium, pull up in the stadium. First thing you do, you go get the breakfast, go hit the can, come out, get the paper, and you talk with everybody and just kind of discuss, okay, what the paper's saying about us, what they think. We open the paper up. We see one of our players. He's back. He's like this right here. Bowling ball in right hand. Focused on knocking down, hitting a strike. And I'm like, and the title was, "These are your bungles," meaning the Bengals. One of our players went out to bowl that night, and somebody called him and took a picture of him and put it in the paper on game day.
That's the night before.
Man, I don't give a rat's ass if it's 2 nights before. It's the optics. You can't win against that. Like, you just can't win. And I'll be honest with you. It was a horrible look. But when you're already 4-9, what is it? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. 4-9. And you're struggling, praying for anything to happen good. The last thing you want is to have your picture taken because you have a bowling ball in your hand trying to get a strike, when you should have your ass in bed. So imagine if social media was out back then. He would have been ripped a new one from everybody, not just the Cincinnati fans, but from everybody. And this is the thing, how I say this all the time, how perception is halfway around the world before reality takes one step out of bed. He was inactive the next day. He wasn't even playing. And the people still they didn't understand that because perception is already taken and ran with. So, to my point, that was a time to where the coach had lost the team. Like, man, if you want to go out bowling the night before the game, when you got 6 other nights to go out bowling, man, call you up some soft legs, man, and take it easy for the rest of the night. That's what you do. But, that's how it is. I wonder, did he get a strike, though? Because he was a pretty good bowler, though, for real. Because we used to go on Tuesdays.